Last minute, we're here. I got a hold of Tony, and I know he got some arrow titles in recently. He did an arrow video. I got a bunch of arrow titles in. I always like to have Tony on. Some of this stuff I don't know anything about when it comes to arrow video, and I've really kind of gone like crazy with the company with their back titles lately because I love their old stuff. I love the old way of doing business that they did, and I love their. It's you can buy these titles for cheap, and they are absolutely loaded with bonus features. The scans are great. I really have gone to, I've always liked them, but like it's been crazy lately. And like I said, I haven't done anything with Tony for a while. So I'd reach out to Tony and see what he's doing. And turns out he's doing nothing.
Absolutely nothing. a Saturday night to fuck all.
He's coming into the month of May where the entire country of England doesn't work.
Nope,
so he's preparing to take a break from all of his rest.
Yeah,
for May. So it's coming up.
Hey, I'm not a royalist in any way, shape, or form. If the king wants to give me an extra day off work, I will fucking take it. You know what I mean?
What is it? The king's coronation?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
I couldn't give a rat's ass, but if it's an extra day off work, I'm there.
I'll take it.
You know what I mean?
Oh man. So let's see who's in the chat here. All right. Chrissy, hi all. Watching Dirk stuff at the moment, but try to never miss the streams from y'all. Yeah, Tony told me that Dirk was streaming. I didn't even know. I don't even. It is what it is. I'm sure whatever he's doing, it's unrelated to this.
Yeah, he's doing his Hour to Kill stream.
Oh, okay. A 7-hour stream.
Yeah,
7 hours to kill.
Yeah, it starts off for an hour. When I was watching them, they were 45 minutes in, and they hadn't even discussed the film. in typical style of us all, just shooting the shit.
It's an hour. You should call it hours to kill.
Yeah,
not an hour to kill because it's going to be whatever long stream. I think Alan told me they did one for 5 hours or something, 4 hours just the other day.
Yeah, I mean I think they're talking about supernatural giallo films.
That sounds right. Let's see here. Manny Lamont. Otis, she's your sister. Tell her you're sorry. Yeah. The cover the thumbnail gave away one of the titles I got, and I was very excited to get it in. But yeah, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yep.
Hey, Wrangler, what's up?
Hey, Wrangler. How's it going, man?
Annie, yep. Here we go. Gore forever, what's up all? I hope someone is drinking like me. Gore, no one drinks like you.
I've got a pint of water if that helps.
I got fish. Somebody's a fish's house here. I'm taking down. Spicy 4K action. What's up?
Hey, Mom.
Come on, dude. All the way from California. Yeah, it's all over at Chuck's house. I think like what happens at Chuck's house, like the delivery truck pulls up and it's just like a dolly full of Jack Daniels goes in his house every week. He'd need it for just his commute alone. You'd need it. I mean, I think he's got a 90-minute commute for work every day, each way.
Fuck that.
That's New York City for you.
Ooh.
Holland, what's going on, man?
Hello, man. We okay?
Always. Yeah. Everybody's saying what's going on. Spicy 4K action. What did you think of that? Was it Isu or it's like a John Wick type thing, but it takes place during like the Nazi era. It was a really interesting looking trailer. I saw he linked it on his page. It's like Isu or something. I can't remember, but I know he went to see it today. How that would come out?
Yeah, is that the one where it starts off looking for Nazi gold?
Yeah, he's digging for gold, and he's got a dog, and it's very John Wick-like, but it looked pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think he stumbles across Nazi gold, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think that's the whole premise of the film. And then when he takes it back to the village where he lives,
he gets
like He gets stopped. Yeah, I haven't seen much of it and heard much of it. A friend of mine actually has been talking about it today while I was having dinner, and he made it sound really cool. So I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Manny, Chris, sent out to Chuck. Yeah, I guess the scans are different. We've finally figured that out between the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Second Sight and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Dark Sky. I looked at them side by side. One looks a little lighter. I don't know. It's kind of a preference thing there.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that Second Sight scan was going to be completely different to everybody else's. Whether it was inferior, whether it was the better one, I don't really know.
What we didn't know
is I'm not that big of a TCM fan, but it's.
Yeah,
you would imagine the Second Sight was going to do the better scan. Yeah. You would have imagined.
Well, what I thought was Dark Sky was going to use Second Sight scan. Because Dark Sky had to give them license to make it. So I would assume they used Dark Sky scan, but what they did was they used the old German 4K scan,
right?
Which is still a good scan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an old, shot on 16, I believe, movie. So it's not like it's.
To be fair, I mean, I have the Second Sight Blu-ray of it up there, and the Blu-ray looks good. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I have the Dark Sky 4K over here with the slip, and it was like $20 or something like that. So it's like kind of hard not to just roll with that.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's loaded with features. I believe it has actually more features than the Second Sight release.
Than Second Sight.
They're watching Trick or Treat 1986 on TV. Yeah, didn't just get announced that's getting a 4K?
Synapse.
Yeah.
Synapse, yeah.
It's a big get for them.
It definitely. It's been one of those titles that everyone's wanted for years. It was always a case of, isn't it? And then lo and behold, Synapse pop up with it. I mean, I've got a crappy old DVD version of it up there, but it's
that's one. If you want the slip, you might want to pre-order it because that thing is going to sell fast. Chuck, you won't regret it, Chris. I mean, it's thick. The TCM UK Synapse thing. I mean, it's thick. There's a giant book in there, and it's just like, dude, I don't.
Yeah.
I look at that and I go, what the hell am I going to do with that? I'm never going to read that book. I can't read. You know that. What am I going to do with that book? And it's a big digipack. Like, it's a nice set. It's not my stuff. It's really not my thing.
Yeah, I think me and you've had numerous conversations about these big special edition releases, big boxes, big herd boxes, books, posters, shitloads of art cards, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's cool. What the fuck are you going to do with it all?
It's going to eventually it's going to stay on your shelf. It's going to collect dust, and it's going to be fine. Whenever the once in a blue moon you pull it out, and like, are you going to open all that stuff while you're watching the movie? Play with the poster, go through the art card. I mean, is that really going to happen? It's nice, but if the standard release has the exact same features,
same disc,
I want that release. Now, I've got one here. I really want it. The main reason I did the stream, I've got one here. I really want to go over because it is not the same. It is not the same disc. It's not the same anything in the standard release, but we'll go into that. It was kind of surprising to me because Arrow, it's usually like limited edition, standard edition, same exact discs, same exact features. Second Sighted is definitely that way because I got the Witch. I used to have the limited edition of the Witch. I sold it off. I bought the standard edition, exact same features. I'm thrilled with that, and that's one of the best 4Ks I've ever seen, personally.
I mean, if you're just a person that wants the films and Second Sight is your thing, wait till they do the standard disc releases. Whether it's Blu-ray or 4K, because I will guarantee you at some point they will go on sale. If it's a new release, it might take a couple of years, but I will guarantee you at some point it will go on sale and they go down to $9.99. Yeah. When they hit $9.99, I'll fill a shelf full of the stuff I want. I don't need the big box. Don't get me wrong, I have got some special edition stuff, you know what I mean? But when it comes to the Arrow special editions, I really don't care. When it comes to the Second Sight special editions, I really don't care. You know what I mean? I don't need to spend £30, $35 a title just to have it in a box with a poster and a lot of other shit that I'm never going to use.
Yeah, you can buy it for $40, the limited edition, or you can wait and buy the standard edition for $10.
Yeah.
I mean, and you get 3 extra titles. Me personally, I'd rather have the 3 extra titles, but that's just me. So, I mean, a lot of people
And
are like,
I'm exactly the same.
you know, try telling Tony that, telling Gizmo that, Alan that. I mean, it's a different thing, but
Yeah,
that's just the way I
mean,
look at it.
yeah, I mean, I do get it from a collector's point of view. I do get it. If you were a collector of as well as, then yeah, you know what I mean.
They look great on the
They look
shelf.
fantastic.
Don't
Yeah, but,
when you have all the limited editions together, yeah, it's great.
But look at me here. I mean, I'm in an 8-foot cell. You know what I mean? It's 8 foot by 8 foot. This room, it's fucking tiny.
Yeah.
If I start throwing stuff like that in, one of those boxes could take up space of 4 Amray cases. You know what I mean? So for space, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at an ISIS recruitment camp here. I mean, we're not even allowed to. So it's like I can't justify the hard box, but I mean they are nice. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, it's not my thing, really.
Chrissy, that house at the end of the street needs a legit release. Damn it, house at the end of the street. I don't know what title you mean. Are you talking about the one that came with that Vinegar Syndrome porno? Yeah, I don't. There's something like that on a Vinegar Syndrome Peakorama release, and there's a bonus title that comes with it, and I think it's called House at the End of the Street. Chuck seems to know what it is. Chubbs loves movies. What's going on, man?
Hey, Chubbs.
Oh, he's talking about the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey release that Gore Forever has. He's got that limited 1 of 600, giant release.
I tell you how popular that film has been in the UK. The second-hand company, physical media company that we have in town here, CEX, there is currently numerous editions of that film in there on Blu-ray for like £6. It's fucking everywhere. It's as though everyone's bought it, watched it, and gone, "Fuck this! I'll trade it for something else."
I'd rather get anything else.
Yeah, it's.
Chuck says 90 minutes round trip. I'm sorry, yeah, I mixed that up. It's 90 minutes total, not one way.
Still 45 minute journey to work.
For my generation, I can tell you that's like that's a I'm not applying type situation.
Yeah,
like, I don't care if it's more money or whatever. Like it's not me generally. Like when I first started out, I would commute an hour, no problem. Yeah, kids today, they're not fucking doing that shit. They're not doing no commute. They want to walk to work or ride their stupid bike or electric bike or scooter.
That's exactly what I do. I walk to work, and from door to door, it takes me 3 minutes.
Yeah. Let's see. Spice Reaction. Sisu, yeah.
Sisu, that's it. Yep.
That looks great, man. Chris checked out the trailer. Yeah, man, it looks great. Yeah, I saw the trailer on Spicy 4K's channel. It looked awesome. Yeah.
Cool. I'll check it out.
He's talking about that Blood and Honey set. Yes, no release date on Trick or Treat yet, but later this year. See, the thing is, I talked to Don May for like 45 minutes. He didn't mention it. He told me about a title called Crocodile that they were putting out. I don't know which Crocodile that is. There's numerous titles called Crocodile between.
Yeah, there is.
In the last several years, but he said that was one that was coming up.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the Crocodile films I'm thinking of, there's 2 of them. 88 films. I've both over here.
Yeah, I don't think it's that because Severn also has a release out of that, and I would assume it's a different Crocodile than that, just because it's Don May, and you nearly tread the same ground over and over again. But Chrissy, you're talking to a man here that has like 6 different versions of F-13 and 3 different versions of Event Horizon. Yeah. I mean, it happens. We all double dip for our favorite movies, triple dip.
Yep.
I mean, Tony Basement Blues just did a video where he has 11 copies of TCM. So I mean, and that's one of his favorite movies. So just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Mech Pilot, what's going on? He says Eureka is killing it with classic Asian films. Yeah, that's all about Asian stuff over Eureka. If you love Asian stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be everybody with the Asian stuff in the UK at the moment, not just Eureka. You know what I mean? 88 films are smashing it. It just seems to be a big thing at the moment, and I really don't care for it. You know what I mean? It's just not my bag at all.
I
can't seem to get away from it.
I don't get into much of them, but if it's the crazy Cat 3 stuff, I'm in. But like, you know, the kung fu and all that stuff is not really my deal. But
certain martial arts films I like, but when it comes to the martial arts stuff, I'm not a purist. You know what I mean? I don't want to see, you know what I mean, 17 different ways a master can do kung fu. I'm not that, you know what I mean, concerned about it. I like the over the top 80s ninja stuff. If people are going to put that type of shit out, I'm all over it. You know what I mean?
Bloodsport,
Ninja Assassin, and
Bloodsport is a work of fiction, and there's numerous things. The only grappler that enters the tournament is the Monkey Man.
Yeah,
it's cracking people's heads with like they're coconuts, or the sumo wrestler. There would be like an old guy with like the clubbed ear, you know, that like wrestled in the Soviet Union. He would be there and he would win the tournament in 30 seconds. You know, like, but it's great. It's just got a 4K. It's a media
German company. Yeah,
I heard Vinegar Syndrome was working on a US 4K of that.
That would be cool if they could grab that.
You just imagine the big box like they did with some of those other ones, VSUs or whatever they are. That would be cool. Be better than the Showgirls VSA or whatever the hell it was.
I mean that how people can get excited for that film, and I know people do, and I know people have, but fuck me, mate, that is a hard watch.
Gizmo is the only person I have ever come across that likes that movie. Ever.
It's god awful.
And Gizmo should be mentally castrated. I love the guy. He's a friend of mine. He should not be allowed around people. But he loves that movie. He's the only person I saw was excited about it. And Vinegar Syndrome was like boasting how it's the biggest selling title ever. I'm like, really? You know, Thriller, a cool picture sold out in 2 days. And you can still get copies of that stupid Showgirls title. It's going to be...
it'll be there for a long
time.
Yeah, it's a fucking terrible film.
It's horrible, and it's, you know, I guess people can say it's so bad it's good, but I watched it recently. You watched it recently.
Yeah, it's so bad it's bad.
It's like, and it drags. It just drags and drags and drags, and it's just
there's just no redeeming features for it at all. Nothing.
It's not funny enough to even justify owning it. And I have I'm a Paul Verhoeven freak, and I have a copy.
Yeah, I love him.
It'll never get watched again.
No.
Let's see here. Chuck says, I sleep with everything out of the packages surrounding me. Yeah. Oh, American Beauty. I believe it. Chuck's one of those guys that's a limited edition guy. I get it. They are great. If you've got a hole to die in and you've got room, why not? Sure. But I just, for me, $40 versus $10, I'd rather spend 10 if it's going to have all the same stuff on the disc. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to be watching is the stuff that's on the disc. Anthony, what's going on, dude?
Hello, Anthony. How's it going, man?
Probably. I don't know who Alan's talked to, but tonight around 11, maybe 12, we're going to do a big unboxing stream over on Alan's channel. But I don't know who's invited or what's going on with it. But he told me about it, and I'll be there whenever.
I spoke to Alan earlier on. He thanked me for the package I just sent him.
Yeah.
And he said he was contemplating doing a stream later this evening.
Yeah. Just depends on how late it is. If it's super late, you may see Tony on there.
You may do.
if it's really late, it'll be Tony getting up. We're saying, hey to everybody. Core Forever, he means Last House on Dead End Street. Oh, okay. On the Corruption VS release. Yeah, that's it. The old DVD release, the barrel release is incredibly stacked. Okay. I know what you mean. So, yeah, it's on the Corruption, which is a Picorama title from Vinegar Syndrome. And it's not a very good. I had that title just for House on Dead End Street, and it's an Easter egg on the disc, and it's not a very good scan. I ended up selling it off. Wild Wranglers and everybody. So VS has a version of it. Yeah. It's that, like what we just talked about. It's on a title called Corruption, and it's an Easter egg on that Corruption Picorama title. Everybody's saying hey to everybody. Synapse is doing Giant Crocodile from 1979. Chuck thinks. So that sounds good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie, but it sounds good.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's 1979. I'm in a Jaws ripoff. You know, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Alan Mott says, are there different versions of Sorcerer? I noticed a slightly different version on the digital version on Blu-ray, but there was no special cut mentioned. Now, are we talking Sorcerer with Reagan from The Exorcist? What's her name? Linda Blair?
Linda Blair.
Yeah, that Sorcerer? Because there's a Synapse release of that. I know. As I have it. I have never seen it.
Yeah, I don't own a copy of Sorcerer.
Yeah. It's a really like sleazy looking cover. I don't know anything about it, but Gizmo recommended it. So
surprise.
It's going to be wonderful. Trini.
Hey, Trini. How's it going, mate? Okay.
We're saying hey to Trini. We're saying hey. Yeah, okay, yeah. I just checked the VS, saw the corruption. Still has a slip version. Yeah, I imagine so. It's Peakorama. I think you have to push down on the DVD menu like so many times, or the Blu-ray menu, and it'll take you to the Easter egg.
Right.
Alan, what's going on, man?
Hello, Alan. You okay, mate?
Yep. Scotty, what's going on? All right. So let's see here. I'm gonna do the US titles I got about 12 titles in, so I'll just do the US titles first. And
yeah, do it, mate. Because like I say, I haven't got loads. I have a couple of other titles we can have a look at as well, but I've only got a couple of bits from Arrow this time round.
All right, so the first one, let's see. Let me do the this. There you go. So this was the title I recommended from Gizmo. I don't know a damn thing about it, but it was cheap from Hamilton, I believe. Hamilton book. Le Grand Buffet. Not familiar with it, but Gizmo would not shut up about this movie. He loved it.
Right.
You know, big bonus special features section here. This is what I'm in it for. Like I said, I think this was $10. Can't beat it. Whatever it is. Anybody knows anything about that one?
Good value for money.
Yeah. This next one, I bought it on cover art alone. I mean, I did actually look at the IMDb. It sounded interesting, but cover art got me. Cold Light of Day.
Cold Light of Day, yeah.
Not familiar with this one at all, but looks really interesting. Again, I think this was $9-10 on Hamilton.
Yeah, am I right in thinking that's a more modern film? I think.
Oh.
Again, I haven't seen it. I've never seen it, but it's cropped up a few times when I've been going through Arrow video sales.
It's quoted as the British Jeffrey Dahmer, 1989's Cold Light of Day, stars Bob Flagg. So 1989.
89. No, it's not a recent one.
So, yeah. Yeah, loaded. Another big, the special features. I love that stuff. I mean, conversely, I just got in this. I traded Alan for something for this. I got the Nest in from
Brilliant.
Come on. From Scream Factory. And I wanted this movie for a while. It was on my list to buy.
Yeah.
Take a look at the special features on this bad boy.
A 0.
Audio commentary by director. That's the whole thing. Now, this was a $14 title. It was probably $30 when it came out.
Yeah.
This is a $10 title. And just look at the
stacked.
Difference. Stacked. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I'm in it for. All right, a couple more here. I had about 4 more U.S. releases. I got The Possessed. This is an old, like old man mystery story, from what I understand. Very cheap on Hamilton. I think it was $9, $8, $10, somewhere in. This was a while ago, but yeah. I was real happy with the price. Again, absolutely loaded.
Yeah.
I know this was in one of those Jolly sets.
Right.
So, and I love the artwork. I guess it's a black and white film. Again, the date, I can never find the date on here, but it's an older movie. Figured I'd give it a try. This is a newer film. It's a Christmas horror movie. It's from the same director as After Midnight and The Battery. It's called The Leech.
Lynch.
Christmas horror. Again, don't know anything about it. I think this was around the $10 mark on
with a slip. Is it got a slip
with a
on
slip?
it?
Yep. On Hamilton. So I'm pretty sure they're probably still there. Hamilton's a good source for Hamilton books. A good source for anything.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I'm taking notice of more and more recently, especially when I go into store to pick these titles up. That at one time when you picked Arrow titles up, they were very limited on slipcases. And the slipcase is really good. Now, when you go in stores, stuff that's been released over the last 2 years, slipcases are widely available. They are everywhere. They do not sell out. They are constantly there.
I think it's got to be the new owners, and especially the U.S. stuff. The U.S. stuff seems to be slip crazy like now, and U.S. people they go nuts for slips, but
yeah,
it's fine. I almost prefer arrows without a slip. You get that nice
very uniform look.
Uniform look with they all have the A in the same place.
All clear cases. Yeah.
Some of them are blue. Some of the older ones.
The older ones, yeah.
This is an older US title. I think it's going out of print. Somebody will put out another release of this, but it's Chud.
Chud.
Yeah.
Brilliant. See, we never got Chud over here. There are a couple of the US titles that I would like. Chud is one of them. The other one is Christ, I've got a copy of it somewhere.
I did hear this.
Last Starfighter. We didn't get Last Starfighter. We didn't get Tom Cruise's Legend neither. So those three are three that I would like to pick up.
Yeah. This thing, whenever it gets another release, whoever does it, Vestron or whatever, this thing will go down in value. So
yeah, you'd like to think Vestron will be picking that up.
And Vestron has the sequel, Bud
the Chud.
This is another standard edition 4K I bought. This, I believe, never got a limited edition, but it's the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein from the 90s.
Yeah.
Which, pretty solid, man, and pretty gory. But I haven't seen it in many years. But
yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched that.
We got a book in there that I'll never read. That's it for the U.S. titles. Let's go through the chat here. Get back to this. Oh. And he says, no, the William Friedkin Sorcerer from Roy
Schneider.
The thing with William Friedkin is he's a cunt. And that's the best word for it. He's an asshole, and he's really hard to deal with. And he has the same deal that James Cameron has, where he has to be involved with the scan and all this stuff. And you're familiar with his movie Bug?
Yes.
That was Kino announced the 4K of Bug, and they had to cancel it because William Friedkin. So, and I did talk to Don May about that, and he didn't say anything bad about him. He said that he's got that deal and he's very busy, and you know what happened. So if they fuss with him and basically say, hey, we need you to oversee this scan, and we need you to be here at this time. From what I understand, he just goes, nope, then don't do it. Cancel the whole release. And he's very old, and he's a pain in the ass. I watched a documentary with him where he just talks about The Exorcist, and you could just tell. I memean, this dude is a crotch. There's nobody else in the documentary but him. Like the second somebody heard William Friedkin's involved, they're like, I'll just let him do it by himself.
Just give it a wide berth.
That's what he wants to do anyway. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I don't know which one you're talking about, but yeah, Grand Buffet maybe. Chris Fulci did a movie called Conquest. Anybody seen
Certainly
that?
did. Yes, I own Conquest. If you like sword and sorcery films, sword and sandals, high fantasy stuff, then this was Fulci's delve into that whole genre. And it's like the only way you can describe it, it's as like someone smeared Vaseline on a lens while they were filming, and then shone a red and purple light from two different angles on everything, and then give everyone fucking acid, and then you pretty much got it summed up. It's the whole reason that he didn't do any more sword and sorcery films. It isn't a bad film. It's entertaining, but it's fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Kino did a great job on the release as well.
I have it. I just haven't watched it. But,
it's good fun. I own the original video shop poster for it as well.
Of course, it's nothing but sword. It's nothing but sword and sorcery shit.
Yep.
Over at Master Dave's house. What was the Scream Factory title you had me get? Sword and oh god, what the hell was it called? It was something like that, like
sword and the Sorcerer.
The Sword and the Sorcerer. When that got announced, everybody is going, "What the fuck is this? This is terrible!" And there's Tony just with his hand up. Yeah, finally. Finally, we get a nice release of this. I can't wait for that. Everybody was just like, God, Scream Factory collectors are going crazy. Like, I gotta have to buy this piece of shit and put it on my shelf just so I can stay current. Tony was like, finally, they put out a good Scream Factory.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to come across massive fans of the genre. You know what I mean? You have to be in it 100%, or it really doesn't make much sense, the whole sort of sword and sorcery thing. But I've always loved it, always from a young age, always been into it.
Ones. I mean,
there's some fantastic ones.
Conan, come on,
yeah,
Conan. I mean, that's got to be the biggest.
It's by far the biggest one of the franchises altogether. And Destroyer's okay, but Barbarians the better film.
People forget that there's even sorcery shit in that movie, but I mean, there's a lot of it. It's not just like this straight action movie. It is a full on. There's a lot of mystical shit in there,
myths and monsters, and it's but the great titles.
He bangs the crazy out of that broad.
Yeah,
it's Scotty says, I got 2001 Maniacs coming today. I'm not familiar with that one.
Nope.
Trini saying, hey to everybody. Go Forever Conquest isn't bad. I got a nice slip. Yeah, I'm not sure who else put that out.
No, I'm not sure. Like I say, I got the Kino because nobody in the UK had ever released it.
Yeah, I have it somewhere. I don't know where. It's in storage somewhere. And he says he didn't hear of Conquest. You heard of it? I collect certain directors. Fulci's one of them. Yeah, I think we all kind of have like that with Fulci. Like even more than Argento. Like everybody, if there's a Fulci title, there's something in there that's interesting. Like even his non-horror stuff has got.
Yeah, because he had to go everything. Action films. You know what I mean?
I watched a movie he did called. I have the oh god, Cauldron films of it called Contraband.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good little heist movie, and
heist movie,
gore in it,
Yeah.
Man Lamont says looks like Johnny Cash. Yeah, it's like an Italian.
Yeah.
Italian Johnny Cash. Luigi. What is it? Luigi Bazzoni. Manny says the Leech cover looks like a Coffin Joe cover. Yeah, I could see that. Alan says there's an A on the slip too. All right, Alan. Now, does that match?
No.
Does that match at all, Alan? Can you handle that? So in Alan's mind, see, the way he thinks is all these other titles, they all need slips too. Instead of just taking the slip off this one, he'll get a slip for all these, and then he'll make it all even. That's how it works over Pop Smoke Dungeon.
Yeah, I mean the best thing to do if you can find any in the UK that have got slips on them when they're in the sale, especially when they got into £9. You pay £9 for the title with a slip. You bring it home, you open it, you take the slip off, you put the title on your shelf, and you put the slip on eBay for £2. And you sell the slip for £2, and you've only paid £7 for a brand new release. Boom, done.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
In America, it would be like you pay $10 for the title with the slip, and you sell the slip for $20. That's how slips are here. It's that big thing. Now listen, I love a slip. If I have to have it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K, I gotta have
stacks and stacks of them.
Had to have that slip, but certain times I'm like, I don't need it for everything. And sometimes, like I said, Arrow is one of them. I kind of prefer it without a slip, but that's just me. Chrissy, yep. I'm not surprised that the 2 I got today had slips since I ordered them on Amazon. Comedian wrist. Yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah, Manny, Chud is okay. I get that. It's very slow, very low budget. There's not a lot of monsters in it. It's more of a if you're in the mood for those gritty New York movies, that's got to be in the rotation. Some of those like Basket Case and Maniac, Chud, they're all about the same kind of quality. Trini, Brad, you can always send me slips. Yeah. Like I said, if I have something you need, I'm more than happy to send it over.
Yeah, like I say, I'm sat on stacks of the damn things.
Manny, Chrissy, Infinity Bull seems to be from the same company who did Crimes of the Future. Yeah, and Neon. Neon is a shithouse company. There's going to be, from what I understand, there's going to be a 4K of that. But Infinity Pool, I thought was good. Manny, that's a lot kinder than what most people call William Friedkin. Yeah, he's just a like I said, at some point you got to realize that those movies are they're gonna outlive you.
Yeah,
and why not serve your fans? And stop making it all about you. I mean, you're an old man, you're gonna die. Give your fans what you want.
Yeah,
give
them what they want.
Yeah. Chrissy, and it's the Cronenberg father and son thing and daughter. Cronenberg's daughter is also making movies. But yeah, I'm a bigger fan of his son, just going by his quality of work so far versus Cronenberg. Like, there's a lot of Cronenberg movies I don't like, but The Fly's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I love his crime movies, but a lot of his movies, like, there's a point in the movie where somebody unzips the vagina in their neck. And I'm just like, come on, guys. It was going great until this happened. And they take such a bizarre turn.
Yeah.
At a point, it kind of takes me out in some places. But The Fly is fucking crazy from the beginning.
Yeah, you know exactly what you're getting with The Fly.
Yeah. But that's my big. But his son has his own unique kind of style, and I like that. Johnny's Boutique Podcast. What's going on, Johnny? Man?
How's it going, man? We okay?
Yeah, he's, I guess, preoccupied. I sent him the link. He knows about it. Like I said, he may be at a game with his kids or something, but he's a big time arrow collector, and I figured I'd see what he's up to.
Johnny hit me up a while back, steelbook collecting. He was after some of the old out of print Arrow steelbooks, and I grabbed some of them for him. I think I got City of the Living Dead, Zombie Flesh Eaters. Did I get the Beyond as well? I can't remember.
I don't remember how many it was. But they're great. Those are great steelbooks.
Fantastic.
The art.
Fantastic.
I'm not a steelbook guy, but man, those are nice steelbooks.
Yeah, and I'm not a steelbook guy, but they are really, really smart. And the thing is, over here now, the price has dropped out of them in the second-hand market. They're not worth a shit. So I was picking those up like £10 and £15 each. They're not, you know what I mean?
Everybody's saying hey to Johnny. Manny, Fulci's The Beyond Zombie were shown on Joe Bob Briggs' last drive-in show. Yeah, I heard that. I heard he's back on track and he's got, some good titles. That's great because last year it sucked. Johnny says, I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm really good.
To Tony before the stream, I sold my house, so I'm officially homeless. All notes. That sounds an awful lot like Showgirls with the fist pumping. Yeah, Gore Forever. Code Red put the Conquest out before Kino deal. It came with a slip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been sold through Kino, and it still is a Code Red title, I think.
Yeah, it probably says Code Red on the back.
Yeah, it does. I'm sure it does.
Chrissy says Bava did a Hercules movie as well. They should have picked that up in the sale. Yeah, there'll always be next sale.
Yeah, there was a couple of Hercules movies done.
Yeah, several. Yeah, even Arnold did one.
Yep.
Pop's New Dungeon, alphabetical order for slips, then alphabetical order for non-slips. Boom, all match. All right. Chrissy, yeah, I have that Code Red version without slip. It was all good, was cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it here somewhere. Code Red also put another Sword and Sorcerer film out called The Barbarians with the Barbarian brothers. If you've ever seen that, that's what the great. Well, that's the one he's talking about.
The Barbarian versions, the Barbarian brothers. That's a time capsule. They were around for what, 4 years before they either cooked out and ended up in prison or whatever the fuck they did. They were crazy.
I think they did about 4 or 5 films, but the films that they did are really good.
Yeah, that's really good in quotations.
Shit.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. Let's see. Treasure Ogres 2001 remake. 2001 Maniacs is remake with Robert Englund about a town of batshit crazy rednecks on a killing spree. There's apparently a scene with a spear going up a guy's ass and out his mouth. Well, that sounds like
that'll do it. That'll do it.
Who put that out? What company put that out? Manny says he thinks Bava was underappreciated as a director. Yeah, kind of before his time, kind of thing. I mean, Bay of Blood. I mean, there's a lot of movies ripped that off. Trini and Alan agree on the slips. Chrissy says The Possessor was very good. I think I've seen that one. I think I remember like faces coming together, but man, like I said, these are just his early titles. He's only going to get better, most likely. See, my favorite Cronenberg movie might be The Brood. It's all over the place. Great release by Criterion as well. See, I have big problems with The Brood. I watched it and I was loving it. I'm loving it, the minions and all the crazy shit that's going on, and then the reveal at the end, and I'm going, what the fuck? Of course, it's got to be Cronenberg. Yeah. It's got to be something crazy and weird. And she's growing people outside of her body because of talk therapy. I'm just going, come on, man. Like The Fly. Yeah. Let's just do that. Just keep doing that. More of that. But, if he writes it, it seems like sometimes they get a little too bizarre for me. Somebody's hand gets turned into a meatball or, Naked Lunch. They're having conversations with lizards and turtles and things. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I remember years and years ago seeing Naked Lunch on TV one evening, and I caught it about 20 minutes in. It's been running for about 20 minutes. And I sat and watched that film, and it didn't break for an ad. I had no idea what the film was. This was before you could push an information button and it would tell you what was on the screen. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And it felt like a fever dream for years. But I'd explain this film to people and people are going, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I couldn't get it across to anybody. Then eventually, like a couple of other titles, it clicks. You find it when you're searching around and boom, that's what it was. Naked Lunch. Batshit crazy film.
Yeah, it's like I said, him, who's that fucking other guy? David Lynch. They're very similar,
Yeah.
But I like his more. I think they're both good directors. They could do good things. They shouldn't be writing stuff.
Yeah.
I think the writing part is where, or have somebody on to like kind of make it more sensical. That's just me. I'm an old man. I like mystery stories, but Johnny, the best steelbooks I own in the collection are because of you, mate. Much love, brother. Yep, it's nice. They are really are nice.
They're sweet. They're probably some of the best out there. To be honest, I don't know why they ever stopped doing them.
Yeah, it's strange. Everybody's saying what's up to Johnny. What's up, Alan? I've been meaning to ask you a few questions about your broken saw set. Yeah. She says no, Johnny.
Yeah.
All I know is what Saul said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been erased from the fabric of time. It just does no longer exist.
Yeah. Manny Lamont, keep seeing Barbarians on Cinemax when I was a kid. Yeah.
Great film.
The Barbarian Brothers.
A Canon classic as well. It was Canon that produced it.
Oh, of course it's Canon Films. Of course. Chrissy, the reveal is great in The Brood. Cracks me up at the time, especially the expression on his face makes it. It really does. But it's just like you're watching the movie and you go, that's what it is? It's talk therapy that makes her grow people. Like, I don't, I was really into it and it just kind of fell apart for me. Gore Forever, if you want, not K.Y. Cronenberg, go for History of Violence. Yeah, I love his crime movies. History of Violence and Eastern Promises. I love both of them. And I love The Fly. And I would say The Dead Zone. I love Martin Sheen in The Dead Zone as the coked up president of the United States.
Yeah, Dead Zone's a fantastic film.
So I mean, I do like them, but just generally, like they have a point in them where they turn crazy when they have like this out of nowhere big shift. It kind of takes me out of it. And I really liked Videodrome, where it was going. And I remember something about it fell apart for me, but I loved the whole thing where he's looking for this crazy like Cat 3 like shit that's happening on, and I need to run through that again. I really do. Yeah. Chrissy, my favorite Lynch movie is Blue Velvet. Mulholland Drive is way up there. I would say Lynch. I like the one with Willem Dafoe. It's not Lost Highway. It's Willem Dafoe, I believe Nick Cage. Somebody will tell me what it is. I don't know that one. What it is, but it's a favorite Lynch movie to me. That's like picking the smartest kid with Down syndrome. I mean, I'm not a big Lynch guy, so that's not Lost Highway. I can't think of what it is. Manny, Blue Velvet seems like Fever Dream. Blue Velvet, that's a decent Lynch movie too. Alan says, "Oh damn, Johnny, my therapist says I'm not ready yet." Yeah, to talk about the Saul set. Ops New Dungeon, fuck Imprint and their gutter whore mothers. If you're interested in any Imprint titles, Alan's got some mint condition,
shitloads of them,
mint condition Imprint titles with slipcase.
Just get over to his eBay page.
Yeah. Chrissy and Lost Highway like Lost Highway, I didn't care for. We did a WTF stream on it, and it just doesn't do it for me. Patricia, yeah. All right, we're caught up with the chat. We're going to see what Tony got in.
So I only got a couple, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is I think I've pretty much got everything now that I want out of what Arrow have released. I'm really choosy with titles. I'm really picky when it comes to putting stuff into my collection. Films that I personally like, films that I've seen. I won't blind buy anything, so you'll never see blind buys on my channel. So it keeps my collection tight, because like I said before, this room I'm in is fucking tiny. There's hardly any room to collect anything. I don't know if I've got this much stuff in, to be honest. So I have to be really careful what I buy. And up to now, I've hit sort of every Arrow title that I want or need. And I've got a big stack. There's quite a lot up there. So that's the first reason. Second reason is I've just pre-ordered the Arrow set, the Arrow video store set that comes out in June. The one with 5 titles in, so you get Cellar Dweller, Arena, now Dolls. Now, when that set was released, a lot of people sort of like poo-pooed it quite quickly, and I don't know why, especially for here in the UK, because we've only got one of those titles, and the one title that we got over here was Dolls.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a standard bare bones Blu-ray release from 101. They picked up really cheaply. So for that 5-disc set, And I know you get a lot of guff in there as well. I know I say I don't normally collect guff, but for 55 quid for 5 films,
yeah, 5 Arrow titles, brand new,
just over £10 each. Well,
yeah,
it's still a no-brainer. They're never going to become, even when they go on sale, if they come out as standard releases, they're only ever going to be £9. You know what I mean?
Robot Jocks in there. Come on, man. Yep. Everybody's got to be excited for Robot Jocks.
Exactly. Dungeon Master's in there as well. As Dungeon Master is another full moon film, which is brilliant. I love all that shit. So it's a 5 set with a lot of, there's art cards and posters and all that shit in there. But £55 for 5 new titles, you know what I mean? Just over £10 a title, brand new. How can you not take it? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the other reason. So I've got that on pre-order as well as, and there's fuck all else due on pre-order that I want. So I got 2 titles, and the first one was Phantom of them All, Eric's Revenge. Now, I know this title's been out a little while, but normally for Arrow to put something into a £9 sale here in the UK, it's normally anything over 18 months. So it's normally been on the market around 18 months, and then it'll get dropped in the sale at £9, standard editions. Now, I worked it out that Phantom of the Mall shouldn't have been in this sale yet, and I don't think it should have been. I think HMV got it wrong, and HMV are prices at £9. So for £9, I took it. You know what I mean? It is only the standard edition, one disc standard edition release. But for £9,
what's the reverse art? What's the reverse art on that?
That one.
Okay.
Which is a bit crappy, but
that's, you know what I mean? That's probably the VHS. You know,
it probably is. But that's great. That artwork.
That's probably more like the movie. The reverse artwork, the quality of the movie,
most definitely.
But it is a fun one, man, and it's it was a big like kind of surprise over here because Arrow sent those out, the limited editions to everybody, you know, for a lot. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people got it for free, and it, you know, people bought it like crazy.
Yeah,
after seeing so many people unbox it.
Yeah, so for like for £9, we'll I'll put Phantom of them All in there. It's a good flick. I hadn't seen it for a while. And the other one I picked up, I mean, there's been loads of editions of this put out. Now, Arrow had this title for years and years, but under the Arrow Academy label. And under the Arrow Academy label, it was only just the film. There was never any special features on it. And then that sort of like, I think, died a death, really, and the license probably went. And then when they decided to pick it back up again and put it on the Arrow Video label, I had to grab it, and it is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Now, I didn't need the 4K. I didn't need the big fuck-off box set thing they put out. You know what I mean? This edition will do me fine. And it was £14 in the sale, this one. So this would have been an $18.99 title. Obviously, because it's only been out 6 months, it still went to the sale, but not at £9. So yeah, $14.99. Yeah, so at $14.99, I'll take Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Again, single disc. The reverse is the standard VHS.
Yeah, the old VHS.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I wasn't overly keen with what they did. I think they could have done better artwork on that than just like 90s style floating heads. You know what I mean? There was a million things they could have done with that. But again, it's stacked to the bollocks. You know what I mean? It's a 4K restoration. So normally with these 4K restorations that Arrow do on Blu-ray, you know what I mean? If you've got a good player and a good TV, man, you don't need the fucking 4K. This will look bang on.
Arrow Blu-rays look great. Everybody knows that.
So I was more than happy to pay $14.99 for that one, and I'd watched it for a little while. And I didn't expect it to come to sale, but it did do. And
I love people. There are people. I would say the crack. We're over here sucking Arrow's dick, but the crack on Arrow is the sound. They're almost always mono, and some people that bothers. To me, I'm an old man. I watch it with subtitles anyway. I don't care. I'm not blasting anything super loud, regardless. So it's more about the picture for me and the bonus features.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm exactly the same. I mean, the area where I live, it's quite a built-up area anyway. So, and my movie room is in a conservatory. So, if I'm putting that on full tilt, neighbours are going to go batshit crazy anyway. So I just can't do it anyway. So it's not as though I'm ever blasting anything.
It'll turn into Knuckle in your front yard.
Yeah.
Your front garden, whatever they call it.
Garden, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I wish. See, there's a couple of things. I own the first Phantasm film that's been coming to sale for years. I just wish that Arrow would put the Phantasm set out as 4 standard regular editions instead of only be able to get 2, 3, and 4 in that big fucking box set. I don't need the box set. I've got one. I just want Phantasm 2, 3, and 4. I could not give a fuck about. I don't want them. I don't need them. But I would love Phantasm 2 on a standard edition. It's never going to happen. But
I'm a weirdo when it comes to Phantasm. I like the second one more than the first. I like the first.
Yeah, second's a great
one's
film.
Crazy. It's awesome.
Second one reminds me more of sort of a straight up action film as well as it's great. But for some bizarre reason, Arrow saw in their infinite wisdom that they didn't need to put it out. But yet they did it with House. They put House 1, 2, 3, and 4 out as single standard editions and the box set as well as, but never did it with Phantasm for some bizarre reason. So yeah, they were the 2 I picked up, mate. That was it.
All right. Let's see what's going on with the chat. All right. Chrissy said, yeah, recently I ordered 5 Women for the Killer. That's a VS title. And the Vacation of Terror 1 and 2 set from VS. Agreed, I need to do just be buying what I want and not blind buy. You know, blind buying is a funny thing. A lot of these are blind buys. It just depends on what you can stomach. Like they're educated blind buys, put it that way. The trailer, the synopsis, recommendations, you know. So it's a slippery slope when it comes to blind buying. You can get really, especially with a company like Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah,
where it's like, what the hell?
Get suckered in for a lot of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Manny Dolls was creepy as hell. Yeah, that was it's very out of print Blu-ray over here for years.
High ticket price, Screen Factory release. Going for crazy money, second-hand market. Alan, tell us, Alan, what did you pay for it?
I don't think he'd say. He'd go Brittany Murphy on that one, but you know, he'll never tell. But probably a lot. Chrissy, God, I've not seen Robot Jock since I was a kid. I hated the ending to that. Yeah, let's not spoil it for those that haven't seen the wonder that was Robot Jocks. I loved it as a kid, and it's a great for I saw it at just the perfect age, you know, for it. You know?
Yeah. The other one at the time was Crash and Burn as well.
Yeah.
Crash and Burn is another great similar film.
But if you haven't seen Robot Jocks, in the dystopic future, we solve our differences with each other and by battling giant robots against each other. You know, man held like mech, you know, things, and instead of having a war, we do that, and the winner wins. Yeah, it's great, man. It's campy though.
Who'd have thought that was my alley? You know what I mean?
Yeah, who would have thought? I just out of nowhere I sent Anthony the Dick Chainsaw movie. He's like, what a film! What a film! And it's never had a U.S. Blu-ray, so it's going to be a big. People I hope will see it the first time, and maybe they won't have maybe you need nostalgia for it. I don't know, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I just bought a bootleg of it, so of course, you know, it's to get the real release. Manny, Phantom of the Mall reminded me of Death Spa. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I guess excellent cover, Phantom of the Mall. Yeah, sometimes Arrow is hit or miss with the cover art. Sometimes great, sometimes not so great, but that's a really good cover.
Yeah, it just depends which artist is doing it.
Yeah. Chrissy, I heard Phantasm 2 is the best. It's gorier, it's
Yeah,
faster. It's just
there's
very,
a whole scene of them tooling up. You know what I mean?
you get the prep scene where they go
it's
into
great.
build their weapons. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. Manny, Phantasm 2 seems like an actual film, and the first one, that the first one needed to be. I do like the first one though. I love them both. Like I said, if I was gonna pop one in, it'd be the second one for sure.
Yeah. If you like the first one, have you seen a film called One Dark Night? One Dark Night over here was put out by 88 on the Vault line a while back now. It's got oh shit, man, I remember it. Original Batman, Adam West.
Adam West, okay.
Adam West is in it, and it looks like while Phantasm was being shot, or just after Phantasm was shot, that they put a small, low-budget film in on the set and scenes and filmed another film with what was left. So you get the whole same sort of like mausoleum kind of thing about it. It's cool. It's quite slow paced, but it's a decent little flick.
Mausoleum, there's a winner. I tell you that.
Mausoleum, sure. Yeah. Mausoleum's
that's a strange fucking movie. Mech Pilot. What's your precious possession in your collection that you cherish forever? I'd say none of it.
Ooh.
For me, it's just I would just get like the way I do it is, let's just say, for instance, if I have anything in this stack that I would, is a good example. Driller Killer. I like this movie. If there was a better release of this that came along, I would probably upgrade it and sell this one off. So that's how I do it. So I don't really collect collectibles or anything like that, but I know Anthony's got some stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a couple of pieces. Some that's worth no money at all and is just sentimental. Some stuff that's worth a small fortune now. Sentimental stuff. I've got my original VHS copy, ex-rental copy of Creepers, which I've had since being about 14, I think. So that's like I've had that for like 30 odd years. If any of you know a sword and sorcery film called Hundra, really small, low budget film, but Ennio Morricone did the music for it, so the score's fucking brilliant. But it's a sword and sorcery film, very much in the style of Conan, but with a female lead. Great film, great cinematography on it. Acting's not the best, but it's Italian. What do you expect? That is really, really sought after on DVD. There was only 1,000 copies ever done of it. I own one. It's never had a Blu-ray release, not an official Blu-ray release. It's hard to get hold of. It comes with a comic book and all kinds of other things. That's like, I don't know, it goes for about 120, between 120 and I've seen it go for about 170 recently. So I own a copy of that. Yeah, I've a couple of things, you know what I mean? Like I say, again, sentimental that worth nothing, and a couple of pieces that I've paid nothing for and they're worth good money now.
So. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess there's, I'm really, really attached to these. So I'm so attached to them that I'll let them go on eBay for $34.99 a piece. No, I just don't think there's stuff in my collection I couldn't replace, but nothing that just because there's not a better edition or it's OOP or anything. I think all this stuff will come back, and if it doesn't, I'll just hold on to it. So like some of the stuff I have is valuable, but you can't really get rid of it because you can't get rid of it until there's a better edition out. Because there isn't a better edition out, and then you've just gotten rid of the only edition, So yeah. It's kind of a different, way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've other things within my collection that aren't film related that I cherish. Stuff that fucking people's probably never even heard of or think I'm fucking weird for owning. But a lot of it for me is all you all know it's all nostalgia for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the big kick. I mean, did you guys in the US get Top Trumps? Do you know what Top Trumps are?
No.
The card game? No.
Top Trump? No.
No. Was a huge thing in the UK. Up there, you can't quite see them. Up there, I have a deck from 1978 of vintage horror cards. Now, these were cards that were made for kids. It was a kids' game that you played in the playground. And basically, you draw a card. It has a character on it. It gives you 5 stats. And then you pit the stats against your friends with their card. And if yours got the highest stat, you take the card. I have a horror deck up there that's a complete Hammer rip-off. There's got loads of Hammer characters in it, but like hand-painted. They look fucking amazing. I've had them. They're from 1978. They're mint. I've weird shit like this that I'm obsessed with. Do you guys ever get those in the US?
No.
Sort of like fighting fantasy books.
How many times I got to tell you I can't read? we had little things like that, but I don't remember those at all.
But they're like, you know, find your own path, find your own adventure books.
The US version would be Goosebumps kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, like these are from like very early 80s. Mm-hmm. So I grew up with all this kind of shit. So I've fucking loads of this kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've quite a bit in the collection. But again, everything for me is about nostalgia.
Yeah, kind of the way it goes. Let's see, Alan says Scream Factory put out Robot Jocks in 2015. I always forget that because
they did.
It's been out of print for so long now. I always forget about that. And it probably goes for 80, or it did probably go for 80 on eBay until they announced that.
Yeah.
Our Ranger is watching Time Bandit.
Oh, what a film! Amazing film.
Trini says, "I love One Dark Night."
Yeah, great film. It's like I say, it's cheap. It's on a budget, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah. Driller Killer. Gore Forever says, "Driller Killer." That stupid band constantly being shown. That song killed it for me, and that's a grimy New York movie. If Chuck doesn't like it, that should tell you a lot about it. Manny saying, "Whoa," probably at that box of crap. Chrissy, for me at the moment, would be my recent purchase of Legend, cool edition of the Era release. It was just damn good. Yeah. It's there's a lot of those available here. Legend on, is it on a 4K? It's a 4K set or whatever it is.
I think they might have done a 4K set. Again, I don't know why it wasn't put out over here. We've only got one shitty studio release of it. So same with Last Starfighter. Again, we've only got one shitty release of it over here. Just a studio release. So why Arrow couldn't get the right over here from, I don't know. And there are 2 titles that I would have really wanted.
Yeah. Let's see. Chrissy says, and the Best Buy steelbooks of, well, T2, I know what that is. I don't know what BD is. But some of those Best Buy steelbooks are great. Maybe my American Psycho steelbook. I don't think I'd get rid of that, even if there was a better edition. Manny Lamont, remember watching Maelstrom.
Destruction of Jared Sin.
As a kid in the Shout Factory Blu-ray. Like the Blu-ray, the movie was so not as good as I remembered. Okay.
Yeah, it's a decent enough film. It's in the same vein as films like Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, all that kind of stuff. Really, Ice Pirates. It's all within like the same frame as that kind of stuff.
Nerd stuff. All right, we'll go through these. UK. So on the UK side of the sale, an Arrow is always the better side. You get them for, I think it's around 12 US shipped, as long as you order a few. So when Arrow has a sale, you kind of want to avoid the US side. You want to go over to the UK side if you're all region. Picked up Dillinger. Don't know anything about this. Never saw it before, but I love crime movies. And like I said, it was, 12 US. A little anemic for an Arrow release as far as the special features, but maybe they were not, available.
Yeah.
Anybody seen this in the chat? I don't know what this is.
I know the film. I've never seen it.
We'll try it. I think Gizmo was talking about this, and I think I saw Benicio talking about this. It's called We Are the Flesh.
We Are the Flesh.
Modern movie.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really dark. Probably a WTF title for the stream. Eventually we'll do that. So don't know anything about this one either. It's totally a blind buy. But we'll check it out. I got The Killing.
The Killing.
Stanley Kubrick movie. It's a crime movie, heist movie. Never seen it. I know there's a 4K of this. Again, it's Arrow Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure. I believe this is also Killer's Kiss. It's 2 movies, but I'm not sure. I think it's it's got a bonus feature of Killer's Kiss as well, which is also a Kubrick movie. But check that out. Picked up Beyond Reanimator.
Cool.
You know, I've never seen the sequels to Reanimator, so definitely we'll check this out. I mean, super thick with the
fucking loaded
special features on this one, and the basket case one, it's like this.
Yeah.
With bonus features. You know, that thing is absolutely loaded. But you know, Beyond Reanimator, I think there's Briar Reanimator. I still need to get that.
Yep.
Heard a lot about this movie. I could have swore I've seen it. Watched the trailer. It looks very familiar. It's called The Woman. It's kind of like a rape revenge kind of feral woman movie. But we'll give this a shot. I think it might be ambiguous. But again, it was whatever it was, you know, £9, so around 11 US, and then you add the tax and the shipping, ends up being about $12 per. This one's a OOP in the US. It's The Stuff, but you can still get the UK version.
Great release.
This is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. I once I found out it was OOP, it was like either pay 40 for it, you know, in the US, or 30, or get the UK version and just, you know, get it.
It looks fantastic as well.
Yeah, it's a good one. A year or so ago, Johnny put me on this movie called Coffee. I put it on my list to buy. I ended up getting it cheap, and I loved it. And this is the second movie they made, the director and Pam Grier. It was called Foxy Brown.
Foxy Brown, another good film.
And I hear it's not quite as good as Coffee, but I've actually heard mixed things. Some people say this is better. Some people say Coffee's better. I liked Coffee a lot, so we'll see what this one is like.
It's good. It's good, entertaining film. I would say Coffee is better of the two, but Foxy Brown's still entertaining.
You know, maybe more of the same kind of stuff. I showed this a minute ago, Driller Killer. You know, this is not my favorite, you know, New York slasher, but it's a very New York type slasher. Grimy as all hell and strange. So really cheap. Had to get it. And this has got a bunch of features and a DVD and all this stuff. Like I said, cheap. And the last one I got, and the whole reason I wanted to do the stream, was I had an issue with a release. I picked this up recently, and it's Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, limited edition from Arrow. Now, we just talked earlier, me and Anthony, about how we don't really like these. You know, I like them. They're cool. Don't get me wrong. But there's just a lot of fluff in there that I don't need.
Yeah.
I'm not really that guy, you know, and this is $40. I'd rather just buy the standard edition for 10, which I did. I bought the standard edition off of Dirk, who had doubles, for I think $10. Or traded him titles, whatever it was for it. The standard edition of this 4K didn't have maybe even a tenth of the bonus features that the limited edition had. So I had to go back and buy the limited edition that has all this stuff. You know, it's complete. Like, so what you get is basically like this little bar here with the standard edition. You're missing all this stuff. There's 2 full-length documentaries. There's all kinds of stuff in there that you're missing with the limited edition over the standard edition. So I hope this trend doesn't continue, but I'm sure, you know, limited edition collectors are like, that's the way it should be, you peasant. You know, you should buy the limited edition. But I was glad I was able to get this. It's out of print, but there's still some available because, you know, it's Henry. You know, a lot of people don't like Henry. I love Henry. I'm a big fan of this movie, Michael Rooker. But I just had to buy it. I had to upgrade it. But yeah, it's got, I'm not going to open this fucking thing right here. And if I do, I'm just going to open it enough to get this out, which is all I really care about. But it's got a book and a poster and art cards and all kinds of shit in there that I will never look at or never use. I'm going to put a Henry poster up in my house. You know, that really helped my standing with the chicks I'm bringing home. What the fuck is that over there? But, I'm going to try to do some kind of video review on this movie. I really like it. It's grown on me over the years more and more. I just love the performances, love everything about it. But like I said, if you are like me and like Anthony and you are a standard edition freak, just beware, buyer beware. From now on, check and make sure that the features are the same if you care about the features. Because the features on the standard release of this are a joke by comparison to the limited edition.
Yeah.
Also, a good alternative to this is the Dark Sky 30th Anniversary Blu-ray, which is a great release, but it's missing this has just a little bit more. Plus, you get all the fluff and stuff. So, you know, you can get that for around 20. This is going to be around 40. I went this route. So, like I said, definitely, you know, from now on with Arrow Video, you want to pay attention on the standard release and make sure that you're getting the same features on each release, or just pop for the limited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's before that I don't think I'd ever come across it before that. The actual where they was holding back certain things on a release.
Yeah.
Just for that Ultimate Collector's Edition.
Yeah, I just assumed, hey, you know, we're gonna have the same, you know, disc and everything, and I just went and grabbed it. And I'm not out much. I think I traded free titles to Dirk for his free titles. So, like, none of us are out.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, if you're a fan of the movie, you want the limited edition because it is far and away, like I said, 2 full-length documentaries. The whole thing, they had a big issue with the MPAA. I believe it is a video nasty, you know, the whole 9. But let's catch up with the chat here. Oh, let's see. Get back up here. Manny's asking if it's got Warren Oates.
Warren Oates.
Let's see. Runaway, Success, Bonnie Clyde. Starring Sam Peckinpah's favorites, Warren Oates. Yep, it's Warren Oates. It's that one. So, I've not seen it. I'm a big-time crime movie freak, so I hope it's good. So, yeah, it's that one. Manny Lamont, We Are the Flesh is a serious fever dream, slightly adult with subtitles. Okay. That sounds like a WTF title.
Yeah.
On the stream. Manny Lamont, Beyond Reanimator, saw a cut version of local creature features, still gory. Yeah, sometimes I worry about these UK titles. Like sometimes I'm like, God, is this a cut version or whatever? I have never run across that yet, at least.
No, definitely not with Arrow. Definitely not with 88. The only UK company that tends to do that kind of stuff, that's still putting edited or cut editions out, is Shameless. Shameless was murder for it, but at the end of the day, it was just one guy, you know what I mean, that was doing everything, and he did what he could at the time, and it was nice to get some of the releases that he put out in the UK, but just beware of the old Shameless releases. A lot of them are heavily cut or edited.
Great artwork on those releases.
Fantastic releases. Yeah. Really, really cheap. Yellow 10mm cases that he uses. Stands out. Yeah, they're always on sale in the UK then. But not always the best transfer and not always completely intact.
Yeah, definitely. Chrissy says the stuff is great. Yeah, it's got a really strong
it's fantastic
cult audience. Yeah, it's a fun one.
Fantastic.
Manny's saying the stuff is great. Manny says coffee is slightly more violent. Well, you're gonna know. Yep. I can tell you right now which one I'm gonna like more. I mean does this one have a giant big titty horror fight in the middle of a party like coffee has? Because I was just dying. I love that whole bit. So I mean, I loved coffee so much. I wanted this is not a sequel, but it's the following year with the same cast and crew. it's going to be more of the same, I feel.
And it's Pam Grier, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can't go with Pam Grier.
Gore Forever says The Woman was excellent, part of a trilogy. Yeah, I've heard that. Yep. Chrissy says there's a home invasion movie with Bruce Willis as the negotiator. Forget the name. Boy, I know what you're talking about. It's on my Hostiles, I think, or Hostile. It's on my Amazon list.
I don't know that one.
Henry Lamont, Manny Lamont. Henry is one of my top 10 all-time films. Yeah, man, every year, I think it holds up so well, and it's so dark, and I don't know, it's just great. I really like it, and it's a very effective movie. Very low budget. Like I said, dark's not the word. It's pitch black. It's right up Master of the 80s. It's right up Tony's up. Love that. Boring ass human story,
Yeah, as some of the guys who I work with, when we talk about films, they always said to me, if it doesn't have pew pew in it, you're not fucking interested. I said, exactly, I know. If it's not got laser beams or some kind of robot fight, fuck it right off. Does
it take place in this solar system? Does it take place in this century? Chrissy, Portrait of a Serial Killer is based on Henry Lee Lucas, which we know now is possibly like 3/4 of the murders he did not do. Yeah, that's it. The real story is like very bizarre, and I'm glad it's just inspired by, and it's not a direct, bio. Helen says Henry's great. Yeah, man, I loved it. Chrissy, I heard Henry was very good. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a strange, it's on its own kind of thing as far as a real life serial killer movie. It's disturbing and it's dark. It's just gritty. It's not a New York movie, but it almost feels like a New York movie. It's a Chicago movie. We're forever just put a poster up. Of Scott Peterson that says "Let's go fishing." Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you don't know how Henry ends, that's not, no woman comes off good in it. Manny saying it is. Yeah, he agrees. Mike Pilot, the reason that the extras cause the 4K can't do the standard definition on 4K format, so they end up putting all the extras on Blu-ray. Yeah, because it can. Yeah, the size, of a 4K file is so huge, it basically just takes up the 4K disc. The bonus features are on separate discs, and they always end up being Blu-ray discs. Well, again, this release on the standard is just the 4K disc alone. So there's, they should have, Arrow would usually put that bonus disc in the standard disc. In the standard edition, that bonus disc would also be there. Not in this case. So it's a big, it's not usual for Arrow to do this. And that's why I want to make sure that people know about it before it goes completely out. And you won't be able to get it for a reasonable price if you want the bonus features. Manny Lamont, the actor who plays Otis, is the sheriff in the House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah. What is his damn name? The guy that looks just like him. He looks just like Captain Spaulding from that movie as well. They look like brothers. Man, I can't think of his Tom Towles. Yeah, Tom Towles. He died recently. But yeah, him and Sid Haig look like twin brothers. I used to always mix them up. But anyway, that's basically all we had. Just wanted to jump on here, and I really wanted to do a stream and basically point that out for anybody that was interested in it, and check in with Master of the 80s and see what he's got going on. And like I said, we're not stream sharing with it, but I'm sure Tony will put this up on his channel.
Yep, I'll pop it up. I'll pop it up on there.
Make sure you subscribe to Tony. He's chugging right along to 1,000. I haven't checked his count lately, but he's got to be close to 1,000 by now.
We're slowly getting there. We're at about 800. The thing is with my channel, I get more views than I do subscribers, which at least somebody's watching something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thousands of views and 800 subscribers.
Yeah,
it's strange.
Yeah, it's an odd one, but it's yeah. I mean, if you don't know my stuff, I mainly do 80s cartoons, early 90s cartoons, 80s B movies, 80s sci-fi, 80s horror, anything 80s related, really, 80s action movies, exploitation, low budget stuff, anything from the good old days of the old video shop or anything like that. That's right up my alley.
VHS, whatever.
VHSs, yeah.
He's got great overview videos on the HMV stores there too. So if you're ever wondering what those HMV stores are like, definitely check that out because they're we would love to have more. We have stuff like that here, but they're not prevalent like they are in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, HMV have moved in a sort of different direction to how they used to work, and they've sort of like rebranded themselves without sort of telling anybody, and it's sort of working for them. So what they want to do now is, where beforehand HMV as a store, as a company, would have one major headquarters, and they would tell every store what they wanted them to do. Now they don't work like that. What HMV now done, they've left it to the management and to the staff of each store to run it like it was an independent store. So they're doing all their own social media stuff. They're doing all their own advertising. They're putting local bands on live in there. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And people are fucking flooding in. And it's working really well. So what they want to do, you know what I mean? People like me who create content for YouTube and Instagram, things like that, when they talk to you and find out what you want to do, they want you in there straight away. Come in, live stream from here, take some videos from here, take pictures of us pricking about with stuff. You know what I mean? They just want it all, because the more that people interact within the store and the more people either hashtag it or at it on whatever social media platform, the more free advertising it is for that store. And that's the whole ethos with HMV at the moment. So if I go in store now and see Tara or Paul who work in there and say, listen, lads, I want to do a small video on your horror section, and they go, yeah, okay, do you want us to turn the music off? Do you want more lights on in that area? You know, they're brilliant for it. So it helps. It does help. And I think, especially for the likes of you guys in the States, especially when it comes to like sale times, doesn't matter who the label is, what company it is. If I can go in there and film everything that's on sale, and some of you guys watch my video and go, shit, I've been looking for that title, can you grab me a copy? I can walk straight in store, pick it up, stick it in the post where it's done. You know what I mean? I'm not ordering titles in and waiting fucking weeks on end for them to come in, or having to pay postage on things. I can just walk in, grab a title, and boom, done. You know what I mean? So yeah, HMV are really accommodating when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got Anthony to. I saw a video he did, and there was a limited edition box set of a Category 3 title that I wanted there, and I got a hold of him and said, hey, can you go in there and buy one of these for me? And next thing you know, like, I talked to Johnny, I talked to Alan about it. Next thing he's buying 3 of them, and he has to go up to the counter with three copies. It's like, I believe it was the erotic ghost story.
Erotic ghost stories, it was.
And he's
3 copies of erotic ghost stories.
I swear these aren't for me.
Luckily, the guys behind the counter know me. So, you know what I mean? It's like, no one really bats an eyelid. And the thing is with HMV, if I go in and buy stuff like that, they know exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
They know that I'm not taking it. They know I'm sending it to you guys. You know what I mean? So, which they fucking love. They think it's brilliant that I'm buying titles in store and then sending them out to the States. They lap that shit up.
Yeah. So check those videos out. There'll be more. Like I said, tonight around 11, maybe 12, there'll be a live stream over on Alan's channel. I don't know who's all going to be there. I know I'll be there. I know Alan will be there. I know probably some other goons are going to be there, just depending on who's available and what's going on. But other than that, Gizmo's wrapping up his movie,
cool.
His latest movie. So he'll be back streaming with all the guys. We'll be doing the WTF again. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. And like I said, go over and subscribe to Master of the 80s. He's got content coming out all the time. And we'll be back with more later on.
We certainly will. Thanks for having me.
Take it easy, guys.
Take care. See you later, everybody.